What's up, fam? Welcome back to Recap Kickback. It's Chappell, and I am back with another episode discussing whatever I want to talk about. And luckily for y'all, it's March, and that means this week we are starting March Badness on Recap Kickback, and we are going to do a bracket of the top Black TV theme songs of all time. And joining me, as usual, my co-host Mari. Mari, you ready to get into these theme songs?
Yeah, let's get into it. These are going to be some battles, some slobber knockers, and this time we are not listening to you guys. This is all us. So we will decide. However, you can see our bracket. Well, we posted the bracket in our Facebook group, on our Twitter. We would love to see you fill out your bracket and post it and send it to us. Tag at Recap Kickback on all platforms, Twitter, whatever, Instagram. Just fill out your brackets and show them to us. We want to see them.
Yeah, exactly. So Mari's right. We are not, listen, we love y'all, but it's really hard to get y'all to vote on all of these theme songs and get accurate portrayal of what really is happening when it comes to which songs y'all like, which ones y'all don't. So I use a very complicated algorithm to set this up. So you get to hear us argue about our personal faves. This is not, this does not reflect the Recap Kickback audience. It reflects the people on this panel, three people on this panel. And so in case it comes down to a tie where Mari says one thing, I say the other thing, we had to bring in a tiebreaker with us. Back again, Tyrone Graham. Tyrone, you here to break everything up? You here to settle the score here?
That's what happens, man. That's what happens.
Welcome to the kickback time.
Right. I'm a solid observer until I want to be loud. But I was expecting T Greasy. That's what I was expecting. I'm ready to break these songs down. I might sing a little, like I might hum it, I might something, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So if you haven't seen, I've already posted on social media the bracket, and so people have been weighing in on how they feel about some of the matchups, and like people are saying some of these matchups are going to be crazy. It's going to be a bloodbath here, and so I'm very interested to see what happens when we really start getting into some of these matchups a little bit more. And so of course I want to thank everybody for being here, for listening, for liking, for subscribing, the 5-star reviews, all the YouTube subscriptions. We're over 500 right now, over 1,000 hours already listened to, and it's only been a month. So let's keep that coming. Share the Recap Kickback podcast with whoever your loved ones are, your friends, your family, whoever you know that likes to talk about TV and likes to hear other people talk about TV, because we got some momentum here. So we're going to try to keep it going. Also, Mari, we give out the email all the time, but we did get an email from somebody. Now, this completely completely against what we talk about for March Madness, but I want to make sure we give a shout out to when people do actually, give us feedback. I want to read it. So you ready for this one?
Oh God. Yes, I am ready.
Yeah. So this one is from Martino Williams. It says, "Hi, Chappell. I know the show is about Black topics, but since you cover Big Brother, what are your thoughts here? I listened to the Winner Circle with Cody and Derek about Big Brother Canada stopping the live feeds. Cody doesn't feel like the live feeds, but he made a small point that interested me. He noticed that the live feeds have started to continue to cut when someone's having an important conversation in and out of the feeds that will make people not want to watch the feeds. He thinks in the next 5 years, US will cancel live feeds. Also, he says, Martino says that he thinks that Reindeer Games was a little test run on what Big Brother fans, like how they digest Big Brother and them watching Reindeer Games without feeds. And so basically the question here is that he wants to know what we think about Cody's idea that people are going in the house and saying some things that may be important, but also problematic, and then you're potentially taking away. Does that take away from, the viewing pleasure of watching a show like Big Brother? And I'll let you go on that one, Mari.
Yes, it absolutely does. It's no longer Big Brother. It's just any other reality TV show online. And if the US is paying attention to what's going on with Canada, then I don't understand why they would do that. Plus the live feeds, I would assume, is a big portion of their Paramount Plus subscriptions and stuff as well. I know people who only have Paramount Plus for the live feeds. They only keep it for the live feeds. If you say no live feeds ever, they will turn that off. You know what I'm saying? And there is a Big Brother Canada episode tonight. I forgot about it. There's no engagement online. There's nothing. And even though Big Brother hates the bad press, they're still getting press, and that's the whole point of this wacky experiment that we've been watching for 20 plus years. So Cody's dumb because
Tell them how you really feel, Mari.
Yeah, because reindeer games is not the same thing. Like, yes, we enjoyed that, but that's not the game of Big Brother. They did not live in that house 24/7. They went to hotels afterwards. The comps were great. There were actual equitable comps, but saying like, oh, reindeer games was a test run, that would be like testing. That'd be like testing a bicycle safety test and comparing it to a car crash test. Like saying, yeah, this car is good, because that's not the same thing. So it doesn't make sense. Another bad take from Cody. Who's surprised?
Yeah, Tino, I echo that as well. I am not invested in Big Brother Canada at all because there is no live feeds. The end. Yeah. That's why I watch Big Brother, because you don't get to know the way the Big Brother show is produced and like shown to us. There's no way that you can actually follow what's going on in the house effectively without the live feeds. It's just not that show. So thank you for the feedback. Keep the questions coming. recapkickback@gmail.com to let us know what you think about that and many more questions. Again, that was completely off topic, but we're here to talk about it. So tune in to more of course, the Big Brother Canada coverage and stuff. You might see me and Mari on it, but
I'll be on
it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. I'll say that much. All right.
Still call it Big Brother without the live feeds?
That's what
it really doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Well, now that we've done some housekeeping, let's go ahead and talk about what our assignment is here today. So, I decided to go ahead and compile this bracket by, like I said, it's very scientific, y'all. I went in and found all the list of the top Black, theme songs of all time, top theme songs of all time. And I just combed through them. And then I had ChatGPT rank the shows in order of popularity, thus giving you what their seeding is. So the number 1 seed is the one that ChatGPT deemed as the most popular show. The number 8 seed would be in each little division would be the least popular show. And then I did normal tournament seeding, one single style elimination to get the matchups. And so I have nothing to do with your fave competing against your other fave or anything like that. Completely ChatGPT. I didn't want to have my hands on it because I feel like there's going to be a lot of complaining about this one. But remember, this is our personal bracket that we're going to come up with. You are free to come up with your own and show us what that is. And you can even email it to us at recapkickback@gmail.com. All right. So everybody got any questions? Ty, you good?
You left this up to a soulless robot to rank all Black shows?
I knew Mari was gonna say something.
No, I used the computer algorithm. The computer went in and said these things because remember, it ranked the popularity of the shows. That has nothing to do with the theme song.
That's what I was about to say.
Exactly. So I just needed an arbitrary way to put them in order. Now, if your theme song get mopped up, then your theme song wasn't that good. And so, listen, I can't do it all. I give y'all theme songs these chance to step up to the plate, but it's March Madness. Somebody's bracket is going to get busted, and I'm here to find out who. So, are you ready, Mari?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen. See, because I'm a nigga in STEM. Let's see. So let's see. We have our
right now. Go ahead.
What? what's I don't know. It's an issue? Yeah, what's the issue? So all right. So there you go. Black TV theme song bracket. As you can see, the bracket is right there. We have it divided into 2 different conferences, and then each conference is divided into divisions. Now, I did help create the divisions. That is true because I felt like we could try to group them in some type of way so that we didn't, again, have all your faves. Taking out your faves very early on gives us more stuff to talk about. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to enlarge it, and you can see how the matchups look as they come up. So the number 1 seed for the I'll call it the classics division. The classics. Yeah, I'll call it the classics. Now, if your fave ain't in the classics, that's just what the division is called. Again, we just here to have a good time. Okay. So in the classics division, the first competition will be against The Cosby Show and Thea. Okay. So that is our round 1 matchup. Ty, you're already shaking your head. What are your thoughts here?
Which Cosby Show theme song? They have about 4 of them.
That is true. One thing you will notice in this, one thing you will notice in this particular bracket is that there are so many so many extra like versions of these theme songs because for some reason in the 90s for sure, but just all across the board, they really gotten into the habit of remixing some of these theme songs, you know. And so when I say the Cosby Show, I went and looked at each of them and I decided which one I wanted to do. So that's how we're going to go to rank the matchup.
Okay, so now they can get upset with you about something now because you didn't add it in your own flavor now.
Your own little
oh yeah, 1000%. So there you go. So that's the one that we're going with, as you can see. All right. That is the season 7 theme of the Cosby Show. We're going to play it here on YouTube and let you all listen to it. YouTube might snatch us down. So if you get it on the audio,
play the whole thing?
I'm gonna play as much as I want.
Okay.
Like YouTube said, keep it cute. But
this is the Recap Kickback's audio only podcast.
that part.
And
it might
kickback.com to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast.
Listen, that's what we're doing here today. So I'm gonna hit add to stage. We're gonna watch a piece of the first theme song, and then we'll go on to our next one. So this number 1 seed, the Cosby Show, right here, season 7 of the Cosby Show. All right, Thea, Mari, we never talked about Thea here on Recap Kickback. Are you familiar with Thea?
I have no idea what Thea is. Sorry to that.
Well,
man.
Listen, I might let the Thea one play for a little bit because I think people need to give Thea her flowers. But here we go.
Jeez, that looked like the precursor to Moesha.
I mean, really,
Cleavant.
All right, Thea.
All right, Thea. All right. So let's start with our guest, Tyrone. Thoughts?
Okay. So as a religious man, and when you got God in it, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little plus. I'm gonna give it a little nod. All right. So I respect Thea from that. Honestly, like it's hard to just base it off of the theme song only when you see faces attached to it as well, because you got Simba, you got Jason Weaver Simba in there. You know what I mean? You got Cleavant, you got Brandy, you got Yvette, you know, rest in peace. So we, you know, I'm rocking with it, but I gotta go with the Cosby Show. I gotta go with the Cosby Show.
Okay, and Mari, this is your introduction to Theo, but we know you're not the biggest Cosby Show fan. No, so what are you thinking here on your as far as your placement of this round 1?
I think Cosby Show is the number 1 seed for a reason. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, that's classic. That, you know, it's classic. So you got to go with the Cosby Show. I see you, Thea, though. That was cute. I've never seen that in my entire life, but that looked real cute. Shout out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I was like, all right, Thea. Okay, Thea. You know, I had heard about Thea before because well, it's just a classic television show, but it is not one that comes up in our ranking for sure. When we talked about the sitcoms, you know, I'm sure if we had added it, people would have told us what they thought about it. And so maybe we just need to be on the lookout for Thea in the future. But there's no way Thea is getting past the season 7 intro of the Cosby Show. Like Mari said, is number 1 for a reason. But let's go on to our next matchup. So with us next, I believe we have Sanford and Son and Good Times. Mari, are you a big fan of either of these shows? Which one stands out? Like, because we're talking 2 different conversations. What's your favorite show? Then we're gonna get into the theme song. You know, that's
the kind of thing. It's like you're technically, I guess, for me, I'm thinking we're supposed to try and separate the nostalgia of the show from the theme song. It's supposed to be like objectively the theme song, right?
Supposed to be.
I mean, because if not, all the number 1 seeds are just gonna make it to the. But Good Times, like I didn't watch that show, and I know the theme song. You know what I'm saying? Sanford and Son, I did watch, and I'm like, it's like slowly, it's kind of in there, but I'm not sure. I'm like, I think I know it, but I'm not sure. So I think that's like, I think until you play it, I'm gonna probably go with the one that I know I can know off the top of my head. But then if you play it and I get reminded, then maybe it might be a different
interesting
choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all now, these classics, I'm dead in the water because I told y'all on the sitcom one, I didn't watch a lot of the classic black TV shows.
Okay, well, this is gonna be a learning experience for a lot of us then. So let's go ahead and check out our number 4 seed in this tournament, Sanford and Son. All right, you get the gist of it. That's Sanford and Son, classic theme song. Ty, you a big Sanford and Son guy?
Yeah. I've watched both of these shows religiously. Huge Sanford and Son guy. I have a favorite show, but it might not actually be my favorite theme song out of these two folks. What is interesting, and we'll hear this coming up with the next song, is we got 2 in a row where we've got just instrumentals and words that are going up against. So
and this next one, they singing. So let's go ahead and get into the number 5 seed, Good Times. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Good Time versus Fred Sanford and Son. All right. Here's the thing. So I think that Sanford and Son, that melody is just one that you just know. You just know it. But the Good Times theme song, it just hits you in the soul. You know, them people were singing. It's the happiest thing about Good Times, if you really think about it, because that is a show about squalor. And so for me, that the theme song just hit every time. I'm going with Good Times personally. What about you?
I am gonna go with Sanford and Son because I think it is, again, very classic. Once you hear it, it's immediate. And I just want to put Ty in a very hard position.
Yes.
Oh, no. It's not it ain't a tough position, Bob. It's a tough position. But I'm glad that I have my first tiebreaker on here. So I'm going to have to go with Good Times. It's one of the few theme songs that everybody have been singing for decades and still didn't know a particular line in it and was still singing it. Shout out to
muffle it a little bit
Chappell show for us to, to understand what that was. You know what I mean? And then plus, when I had a podcast back in the day, it was like 6 of us that was on there, and this is the song we used to sing to get us ready to podcast. So I gotta give it up to Good Times, even though I like Sanford and Son, the show, better.
Yeah, same.
Gotcha.
I really like Sanford and Son.
Gotcha. Okay.
I would watch back in
Well, look, it looks like Good Times is moving on to the next round.
Is that the lower ranked one?
Yeah, that is the lower ranked one again. So this is less about the theme song itself, but it was the shows up against each other. And so although Sanford and Son's slightly more popular, Good Times does take the win here. So it's our first upset, really, technically, all right. Yeah, first upset of the bracket. Next up, we have the Jeffersons and Amen. And the algorithm might be soulless, but the algorithm knew what it was doing here, Mari, because this is the Sherman Hemsley show now.
The Sherman Hemsley show. Yeah, I mean, I know the Jeffersons. I don't know Amen, so we'll see. I told you, I am useless in this quarter of the bracket.
Honestly, this is perfect, Mari, because there might be some listeners that haven't watched these shows, so they're going off of the song that they hear, and then they're going from there. You know what I mean? And that's a unique experience that I wish I kind of had in here, but I'm no motherfucker.
Like I know of the show Amen, but I've never watched it or I think heard the theme song. So
oh well, once you hear this theme song, I feel like you're gonna be happy with it, But but let's check out our number 3 seed here, the Jeffersons. All right, y'all, we get it. We finally got a piece of the pie there. That's gonna be a hard one for anybody to beat. I feel like Amen might have drew a bad seed here, but let's go ahead and get into Amen. All right, y'all. Mari, that's a good theme song.
It is, but it's up against the Jeffersons, and that is just people was singing that at brunch just like 2 weeks ago. Like it's, I'm sorry, it's the Jeffersons.
It's a juggernaut, is what it is. Tyrone, unmute and tell us, what you think about it.
This isn't fair. This isn't fair.
It's not fair.
We need to rearrange. This isn't fair because Amen, the way that lady was singing like Mahalia Jackson on that song. She was killing, and it took 2 seconds for her to get into it. Like she was in it like an old school 90s R&B boy band who just starts singing off the rip. It was delicious. But the way George Jefferson walked in that high rise, knowing that he black and he about to go to the top floor, gotta give it to the Jeffersons.
You got to. That's one of them songs where you made it. You just made it. And so no shock here for me. But I'll say this: when I was a wee lad, Amen was my favorite. My legit favorite theme song, because I remember my granny used to watch it, and it would just be like, oh, like randomly having church today. That's cool, So yeah. I'm glad we got to pay homage to one of the GOATs here, but definitely not moving forward in this round of the bracket against the Jeffersons. All right. Next up, we have two and I actually I had to sit and think about this one for a second, but we have Different Strokes and 227. Now, the Different Strokes theme song is just plastered into my memory. I could sing it. I could probably play it on the piano if I wanted to. I just know that song. But Mari, for a second, I had to really decide. Does Different Strokes count as a black show? Because it's two main black characters, but it's more white folk in there than black.
In there. It's towing the line. I guess this is our Harlem Nights moment, I guess.
No, look, the way I see it is that the show is not the show without Gary Coleman. And so he is the show. You might as well call it the Gary Coleman show, even though that's another show, but we won't get into that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ty?
Yeah, I think it's because this is a 80s show, and the opportunity for a black person to be the lead in a majority white cast wasn't common, and that's why it's considered a black show. I would expect the audience at the time would have been highly populated in the black community because of that factor, and so that's what puts it in that arena.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's check out this theme song. It's a long one, so I'll make sure to cut it off kind of quick so we can get to the next one.
Yeah.
Together we'll be fine. Yeah.
Different Strokes straight up kidnapped 2 black kids and ain't nobody got an eyelid.
Sure did.
Right off the basketball court.
Listen,
you and me.
At that age, I was really hoping that somebody would come kidnap me and make me rich. Like I too could say what you talk about, Willis. Like I really thought that was gonna be me one day. I can deliver that line. That's fine. But yeah, that's Different Strokes. Made famous by
shout out to Rob.
yeah. Basically, it took 30 some odd years, Mari, but we made it. We made it. I finally got a piece of the pie. All right, so next up we have 227.
Cause there ain't no place like Better Believe It. Yeah.
There you go. Yes, 227. Right. That's a cold theme song too, man. I will say this. Good. Yeah, they could tell us, oh, your shows aren't prestigious. They don't deserve all these Emmys and stuff like that. But make no mistake, we're gonna do the theme song. We're gonna do that every time. Okay. Yeah, we might need to dedicate a time to where we go explore when all the white shows started using black artists as their theme songs too, because I got some questions about some of those Disney shows as well. It gets very soulful over there at Disney at some point. Nickelodeon got really black at some point too. Yeah. So
we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, exactly. We will talk about that next week. But in the meantime, Ty, what are your first thoughts going into this one?
First thoughts is Marla Gibbs is probably, for me, going to the next round, right? We got her on the Jeffersons, we got her on 227, and I'm rocking with the 227. I'm rocking with the No Place Like Home. That's my jam. That's it for me.
All right, Mari.
Yeah, I didn't watch either one of these shows, but I knew of both of these shows. And 227, I knew the song. Like I don't know the lyrics, but I knew the song. And same with Different Strokes. These are both shows that I didn't watch, but I know the songs. But I love 227. I love that theme song better than Different Strokes. Maybe because again, Different Strokes is a little weird. The undertone is a little weird.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird over there at Different Strokes. It really is.
Yeah.
It just is. So here's the thing. I would have definitely picked Different Strokes to go through, but I am outvoted. That's the way the bracket works. And so moving on, 227. Good times. So well, not good times, but 227, right? So yeah.
Neither one of these is making it out of the next round anyway. So
listen. Well, let's just see about it. How about that? How about we don't jump to any conclusions, Mari, you know? But let's see. Let me pull up our document and move on to the next round. So here we have Dang it. Now that Amen song is stuck in my head. Dear God, this is going to be a problem today. All right, cool. So next round, we have The Cosby Show versus Good Times. Now, whoever comes out of this is just automatically they are doing the Lord's work here, literally like just taking out like all your faves. This is going to be a juggernaut of a matchup. We've already listened to the song. No need to play it again unless y'all have forgotten. Mario, what's your first instinct when it comes to The Cosby Show versus what was it? Good Times.
I'm sorry, I have to go with The Cosby Show. I still like. I get it. I don't like Good Times. To me, I get the song. I like the song, but I prefer The Cosby Show better.
Okay, that might have been a surprise for our listeners, because the listeners have listen, I've got some feedback and they're like, Mari's so funny and it's crazy that she don't like The Cosby Show. So yeah, Mari showing love. Listen, you have to be able to separate the song from the show sometimes, you know. Right. Yeah, amongst other things. Tyrone, what say you?
Oh, it's Good Times all day.
It's Good Times.
Good Times all day. Good Times all day. Yes, and the pressure's on you, Chappell. Definitely Good Times. Definitely.
The pressure's on me to break this tie, but I'm sorry. There were 7 seasons of The Cosby Show, and this is by far my favorite of the theme songs of The Cosby Show. And so for me, I hear that sound, no words needed. I know that's The Cosby Show, and I'm finna jam for a little bit. And so for me, The Cosby Show is knocking Good Times out right here. Ty, how do you feel?
I'm hurt. I'm having bad times right now.
Bad times. So The Cosby Show advances to the final 4. All right. So we're just gonna leave that right there, and then let's go and handle the rest of our Elite 8 options here. Amen versus 227. Anybody have any knee-jerk reactions to this?
Did we pick Amen? I thought we picked the Jeffersons.
Did we pick? Yeah, I think you're right. We did pick the Jeffersons. Yeah. My bad. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong part of the bracket. But yes, the Jeffersons versus 227. Tyrone, you got outvoted last round.
I gotta go last. I gotta think.
You gotta think. Okay.
I gotta think about this one.
All right. Well, for me, this is easy. This song births, rap songs. They play this, like Mari said, they play this in the club. So, we're moving on up to the east side for me, and we're moving on up to the final 4, if y'all agree. Mari, what do you think?
Yeah, like, again, we're eating henny wings and bottomless mimosas, listening to the Jeffersons, moving on up. The 8 remixes of it. I seen that video the other day. The whole brunch was singing. It's the Jeffersons. You gotta give it to them. Like, classic.
That can't be. I get it. That can't be the reason though, because like the more popular songs are automatically gonna be more, more spread out as far as theme songs are concerned. And so yes, you're gonna get remixes from those more often, or you're gonna hear those out at the brunch spot more often because they're the most known entities. But it's all good. I was gonna choose Jeffersons anyway. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It was a tough one.
The song.
Then y'all gave it.
Yeah, look, it's the Jeffersons. I said they moved up to the final 4, but I went the Elite 8. So we got so far, we got The Cosby Show, the Jeffersons, rounding out our classics division. Yeah, let me pull that up for you. Share this, and I'm gonna pull up the spreadsheet so y'all can see kind of my work here. So yeah, so here we have 227. Beating out Different Strokes, and then going on and losing to the Jeffersons. Up here, you see The Cosby Show has beat Good Times to go on to the Elite 8. And so now we're going to be looking at our next division. As far as the classics go, is there something to be said about why we come out of the gate with such good theme songs? Mari, it can't be a coincidence that we come out singing like this, because this is some soulful theme songs in our Elite 8.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you're just discovering like Black sitcoms, Black television, like it pulls from the culture itself. And so it's not beyond us that some of the older songs are more gospel leaning, more soul leaning, more funk leaning. And as we progress in time, as the music genres get more popular, as in like hip hop and pop and stuff like that, then you start to see a shift. I think what all of these theme songs will have in common is that they are they especially encapsulate their time period within the theme song. I think that's what makes a great theme song.
Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, we had a little gospel moment here with Amen. It feels like gospel when some of these singers are just singing, and that's what they do. But moving on, we're gonna get a little bit more modern here. Okay, it's gonna get a little bit more modern as we deal with. I guess I would consider these some of like the '90s shows. You know, A Different World probably spans a little bit into that, but these are the ones that kind of define sitcom theme songs for me. Because I know where I was at when I saw them, right? I remember watching them, and I remember looking forward to the theme song before I could, even watch the show. So, yeah,
I'm ready for Mari to struggle. I'm ready for Mari to struggle because I know you don't watch all of these shows. I know you have. So you struggling on this one. Good.
I am, but I still my pain isn't coming until next week. My gut wrenching pain will be next week. If you want to see me writhe around, it'll be that. But yes, I'm excited about this. This one.
Okay, so our first matchup is Fresh Prince and Malcolm and Eddie. Mari, we talked about the TV themes, sitcoms. We did not really talk about Malcolm and Eddie. It's Malcolm Warner, Eddie Griffin. What did you watch the show? Are you familiar?
I love that show. Oh yeah, Malcolm and Eddie, so good, so funny for like no reason. It's basically your like black version of Perfect Strangers. I think it is like it's just the opposite duo living together. Whatever. Loved it. I love Malcolm and Eddie.
Yeah, it's gonna be and an iconic theme song that we're about to listen to right now. So, first up though, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now, I don't think I have to explain to anybody what this one is, but we'll play a short little clip just in case people are unfamiliar. But again, if you're unfamiliar, how? So let's see. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. All right, y'all get it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I posted the bracket and immediately people were like, so what y'all gonna do when y'all get to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Because I think that might be one of the early favorites just from the audience standpoint, but you never know. We'll see what happens when the votes start coming in, right? So next up, Malcolm and Eddie, which I think will surprise some people if they're not familiar with the theme song. It's not bad. I had to let that one play, y'all.
It's so good. It's short. And I wish it had the intro. I wish it was the intro where he's where Eddie Griffin is actually singing it at the end. Because I think that was like a second intro that they did that on. Or no, the first intro is what he did that on when he was singing it at the end. But no, yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one. But let's be honest.
I know.
This is the end of the roll.
Yeah.
Unanimous
Shout
decision,
Malcolm and Eddie.
Yeah, shout out to Malcolm and Eddie. But Ty, it looks like you might hold out. Are you going with Malcolm and Eddie for this one?
There was a time period where I really didn't like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song, and mainly because I heard it too dang much. Like it was everywhere. It was in clubs at night. Like, please let it go. Let it go. You know what? I'm gonna throw Malcolm and Eddie a bone. Malcolm and Eddie is my vote. Forget it.
Okay, Mari, I guess we need an official vote for you.
Oh yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep, it's a wrap. Get Malcolm and Eddie out of here. Valiant effort for Malcolm and Eddie. Listen,
outrage we would get if we let the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air go out in the first round.
Right, and remember, ChatGPT ranked these based on popularity. So Malcolm and Eddie has a fan base, but not strong enough to be not in the 8th seed against some of these other ones. And so it was just a bad draw for them, and it was never going to work out against the Fresh Prince. But we move on. Next up, though,
bad publicity is good. Is any publicity is good publicity?
Yeah, that part. Look, somebody who has never heard about Malcolm and Eddie might just go look and see what's up with it, and so right. we might be helping promote. Don't take us down, YouTube. All right. So next up, we have what I think might be a tough one. Family Matters versus A Different World. And you know, A Different World had several versions of their theme song. Season 1 had a theme song. Season 2 had a version of that theme song. And then like at the end, I think the final season had a Boys to Men version of the theme song. But we are not doing the Boys to Men version of the theme song today. We're going with the Aretha Franklin version, duh. So yeah. So first up, though, we do have to tackle the matter of the family. And
God.
again, if you don't know this one, I just don't know where you were. Okay, so let's go ahead and give it a play. Yeah, I had to pry myself away from that one, okay, because I was gonna listen to the whole thing.
Yo,
yeah.
Quintessential TV show where the intro isn't really people actually doing the show. They reading something, they look up.
It's like welcoming you to the house, you know.
Yeah.
You walk in and they say,
"There's a camera there."
I didn't see you there. Yeah. Look, it's gonna be a tough one to beat, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into the competitor here, A Different World. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Queen, Aretha, singing from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay. So Tyrone, you seem like you have your mind made up. What's your answer here? Are we doing Family Matters or A Different World?
It's Different World. And the reason, obviously I could go with Aretha, right, as my main reason. But the main reason is you get a sense of every single character and who they are going to be on the show based off of that intro. You know, Ron is a basketball player. You know, Dwayne is studying, but he also into girls and get distracted sometimes. You know who they are based off the intro. So I'm gonna go with
theme song bracket, not an intro packet.
I'm gonna go with Different World. You can't change my mind, Mari.
He said what he said, Mari. I assume that you're gonna push back.
I am. Like it's funny because I love A Different World. But if that Family Matters though, that Family Matters hits. So I gotta go with Family Matters.
Don't disappoint us, Chappell.
Yeah. Well, you know, me and Mario are both HBCU graduates, and so we do appreciate a different world. But when it comes to theme songs, Family Matters is here to stay. They're moving on to the next round, Sweet 16, if you will. Ty, you're devastated.
I'm devastated. Bad
I was literally
choice.
watching that pissed though. Like, we need another HBCU.
We need it.
Like,
we need it.
I'm so upset. Like, I need something to convince my son to go to a HBCU.
Right. We need more content, more representation, please.
Yes.
Okay. But we have moved down to our third pair of matchups. And we know this is one that's going to speak to Mari specifically. And then we will see if anything stands a chance against it. So Mari, we have Living Single versus the Jamie Foxx Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, what was that reaction, Mari? What you got going on?
I mean, I already feel like I know what my vote is. It's like, come on.
Yeah, I said speak to Mari. You look like what? And then I said Living Single. You were like, well, never mind.
Which version?
Okay.
We went with season 1 of the Jamie Foxx Show. Okay, I believe there's 3 different versions of it. But at that point, I was just like, I'm splitting hairs. I'll just pick one. Because quite frankly, I knew Mari's on this panel, and I highly doubt that Jamie Foxx will be seen around too. But let's find out. All right,
yo,
come on, original
background dancing. Yeah,
I said so much. I was like, how did she swing her arms that way?
Yeah, shout out to Maxine, Maxine Shaw, attorney at law. That's not her dancing, but you know, in my mind, it was. Man.
Extra points for the original song.
Yeah,
the shorter version,
not the abridged version.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So next up, the original Jamie Foxx Show and the number 6 seed. Hey,
okay, Jamie Foxx.
Me too.
I forgot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
a good one. Yeah. Oh, that's the second version. See, I thought the first one was the fast one, and then they did the slow one after that, and then they did the medium one after that, and then they did the really slow groovy one last. Is how I remember.
Definitely last year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Mari, did Jamie Foxx stand a chance here?
No, I'm still gonna go with single, but I will give Jamie his props there. I forgot how good that one was. Yeah.
Yeah. Ty, are you willing to do the upset here?
No. I'm going with Living Single.
Living Single? All right. I think that the Jamie Foxx theme song is underrated. He was singing, okay, as we know Jamie Foxx does. But again, there's a few theme songs. Yeah, look, there are a few theme songs as iconic as the Living Single theme song. And so again, first round, this is where you knock out the people who maybe squeaked into the tournament in the first place. And it's a wrap for Jamie Foxx show, but we are moving on to our final of these original 32 on this Western Conference, I guess I'd say. We have Martin versus the Wayans brothers, and so I toyed with going with. So Martin has like 3 versions of their theme song as well. So there's like one in season 1 through 2. 1 and 2 got a theme song. Season 3 has a theme song. Then season 4, 5 have a theme. Like so, it's segmented. It's segmented. So I went with number 3, but then I dialed it back to number 1. So we're going with the original Martin. Okay, so that'll be the one that's going up against the Wayans brothers. As far as the Wayans brothers goes,
we know which one you chose.
I'll show you the one I went with. Thank you. You got your degree and you know everything. Yeah. So let's get into the next bracket here. Let's see. Jamie Foxx, we already did that one. So Martin and the Wayans brothers, this might be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so egotistical.
I kind of like the other ones better. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. This is not my favorite Martin intro. I just felt like this would be the popular choice for most people. Okay, but strong theme song nonetheless. Let's go into another show that we really didn't get into a lot when we were talking about our sitcoms. It's the Wayans brothers. All right, short and sweet.
Yeah, kind of hard.
Mari struggling, Mari? I see it in your face.
No, it's just kind of like the Wayans brothers have the really fun intro, but they don't have much after that. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then for Martin, it's just iconic. It's just kind of like it's catchy. It's not much there. You just say Martin over and over, but it's more iconic. What are you about to say, Chappell?
Well, I want to go ahead and take my my little voting pen and put it on the Wayans brothers. Electric Relaxation just coming in halfway through that theme song. I mean, you put a Tribe Called Quest in a theme song and you have my attention every time. The beginning, that give me a high five. We all know that one. We all know it. Yeah, I think this is better than the Martin one. I'm sorry. I know that people at home are rioting. They're mad. They're throwing their tomatoes at the screen, but I'm sorry.
What?
It's hard to beat.
I think if you would have played the other Wayans brothers one, I think I actually like that one better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You like the one with Wu-Tang better?
I think so. Yeah, if I remember correctly, that's the one I like better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So are you voting officially for Martin?
I'm voting for Martin here. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And now, Ty, this is your namesake. It's time to break up the tie. Yeah.
All right.
Why we brought you here? What you gonna do?
This is tough, right? So I'm gonna do like they do on the game show, just try to explain it a little bit. But all right, so Martin, I like it because y'all know how I like when they show a bit of the character in the theme song and they show you a piece of who they are as you're going through it. So I really appreciate that. On the flip side, it's very egotistical. I know your name is Martin. The show is named after you. Your literal name on the show is Martin. We get it. We get it. Then we got the Wayans brothers, which, yes, I love Electric Relaxation, but it's a little dry after that intro, and the intro is iconic. But what I appreciate the most about the Wayans brother is that it's so them. They are goofy. They don't care. It don't have to be structured. It is just who they are, and it's even how the show is based, right? And so because of that, I'm gonna choose the Wayans brothers.
Hey, okay. Listen, another upset. Yeah, so
people might be mad about that one. Remember where I voted, people.
Right. I remember where Mari voted, but no, upset here. I'm sorry that Wayans brothers is so iconic. Again, I think if I had gone with the other Martin, where it's like the CGI Martin is dancing around, I think that one for me probably would have got my vote. I prefer that one, but because that one had a little bit more substance. This one was just so we move. But that wraps up the initial rounds here. Now, let's see what we're going to do with the second round, as the Wayans brothers are the ones who proceed to the Sweet 16. So next up, we have our battle between the Fresh Prince and Family Matters. Anybody got anything to say?
Oh, that's hard. That is so hard.
Yeah, we're here to make the tough
decision. I'm gonna go with Fresh Prince.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I think I have to too.
No. The Fresh Prince speaking out. Family Matters in this one. Look,
I love Family Matters.
Yeah, that theme song just speaks to my soul, but it is kind of the same song as the Full House song. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's the sequel to the Full House song. It's the same. Yeah, exactly. They heard that and was like, we could do that too. So, yeah, shout out to the family stand, but also more shout out to the Fresh Prince, because I think it is going to be taking this one, huh? So, yeah, Fresh Prince moving on to the next round. All right. And then our next matchup, as we get further along, these are going to get harder and harder. But Living Single versus the Wayans Bros.
I know where I'm voting.
Okay, so one vote for the Wayans Bros from Mari. Okay.
One vote for the Mari.
All right. Look, I'll go ahead and concede this one. I love the Wayans Bros. I love Electric Relaxation, but Living Single is going to be tough to beat for anybody. That's where my vote is landing. Ty, do you agree?
Living Single.
All right, Living Single for the next round. All right, so out the gate, we've had some tough matchups, but I don't think anybody would be surprised to hear that The Cosby Show, The Jeffersons, Fresh Prince, and Living Single have moved on in our rankings here. I cannot wait till we get to next week because it's going to be fun. But we have more pressing matters at hand right now. The Cosby Show versus The Jeffersons. Now, do I need to play them again, or do y'all already kind of have an idea for what you want to do here?
Let's play them again so we can
get some fresh eyes on this one. I agree, because this might just tear the world apart here. Okay, so let's take a look at The Cosby Show one more time. If that don't make you smile. Yeah, if that don't make you smile, nothing would, man. Y'all.
I know my decision, and I know what made my decision.
Okay, so walk us through it, Ty.
All right, so for all the people that are listening, this is what you do. You try to pay on the tougher ones. You pay attention to yourself and how you tapping your feet or how you bouncing your head or whatever, what perks your ear up. And I swear that kitchen in Jefferson's, that got me going. I was chilling for a minute. Then she said, kitchen, man, Jefferson's for me.
Took it to a place, huh?
Took me.
All right, Mari.
For me, it took a whole lot of trying. I just love how she says that. Yeah. So you have to do it's the Jeffersons for me as well. It is just so undefeated. Like, you cannot listen to that theme song and not sing it because everybody knows it.
Yeah. The band geek in me wants to go with The Cosby Show so bad because when Rudy danced, I danced. Okay, she was jamming. But regardless, I would have been outvoted here anyway. So yeah, moving on. And I will say this: I will vote for The Cosby Show here I don't want this to seem like a clean sweep because this is not an easy decision. So I will vote for the Cosby Show here, but I am outvoted. The Jeffersons moving on to the next round, and I guess officially the final four. But back to the 90s, y'all. We have more pressing matters at hand again. This time we have the Funky Fresh Prince versus Living Single. We have Will Smith rapping versus Dana Owens, the Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah.
Yeah, look at these rap songs making these iconic runs in this bracket.
In the 90s.
In the 90s, yeah. It tells you what type of time you were on, okay? So, yeah, let's go ahead and give them both a play because, I mean, I, for one, really kind of want to just hear them again. I'm just
right at this point, yeah.
I ain't forgot how they sounded like, but make no mistake, these jams. So here we go. Fresh Prince, our number one seed from this division. Look,
right, boy, he can.
Look, it's our last time playing the song. Look, it's the last time because we're about to wrap this up, but not before checking out the competitor, the underdog in this match for sure. Based on the seeding, we have Living Single. So let's go ahead and get that queued up. Yeah, anytime you have a rap off between Will Smith and Queen Latifah, leave me out of it, okay?
Right.
So here we go.
Definitely did her own ad libs, y'all. She did her own ad libs. Oh,
check it out. Check it out.
Oh my gosh.
Good times. Good times. Like not the show good times, but fun times here on Recap Kickback.
Dibs on going last.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mari, I'll give you a chance to think this one over. Tyrone, what you got?
I'm gonna have to go with Fresh Prince. If there's one thing I love about rap, it's storytelling. And he told a story, and I appreciate it. And more than that, it takes away the purpose of some sort of origin or pilot episode because he tells you what's happening, right? You get right into the action. So I'm gonna go with Fresh Prince. I pulled.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never seen the Fresh Prince before, by the time the theme song is over, you know exactly what you're about to get into, right? So he tells you everything you need to know. And so, sorry to disappoint you, Mari, but I know you wanted to go last. It's not really going to matter for me. The Fresh Prince is going to take this one as well, mostly because I feel like this is Will Smith doing what Will Smith does best, storytelling in that same cadence that he uses. This is very much the parents just don't understand a nightmare on my street. You know, like that's his bag. You pass on the rock. That's what he's going to do. So yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's 2 out of 3 unless Mari.
Well, I'm going to vote for Living Single here, just so again, like it's not a clean sweep. But yeah, it's hard. It is hard because Fresh Prince, it's classic, and for all the reasons you guys said it is, but Living Single is really good as well. So like no matter what, I agree with Fresh Prince moving on. But you know, that's my show.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one. I didn't want to stop either one of the songs from playing. You know. Yeah, but
those are top 2 of the 90s. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it sounds about right? Yeah, for sure. Like,
and everybody else y'all.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have your own brackets at home. Hopefully, your bracket did not get busted immediately because we did have some really good competition here. But ultimately, yeah, our top 2 from the Western Conference has been selected. So let me pull back up our bracket so you can see my work again. And here we have the Jeffersons. And if you scroll down, you will see the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air have both come out of their divisions. And like I said, I think if I had looked at the board all together, I would have probably assumed these would have been the 2 to come out. Like there were some upsets in there, but you know, I can't quibble with that too much. Mari, do you have any big surprises here from this first half of the game?
I don't. I think this is all pretty balanced and fair. And honestly, honestly, these theme songs, all of them are just so good that, you know, it's gonna be tough, and everybody's gonna deserve to move forward. So I'm not surprised about any of this, and I
Yeah.
agree with the outcome.
Yeah, and then as far as timing goes, now we got down to our top two in on that Western Conference. We could go ahead and figure out who our champion is here, but I kind of like the suspense of waiting until after we get the other ones done. So next week on the podcast, we will address the second half of the bracket, and as Mari has said, it might get a little rough over there. So let me just go ahead and pull that up so you all can see what we have, what we're going to be dealing with on over there. So let's see. Because I tried to make this as even as possible, but it was definitely very difficult knowing that some of these shows and these songs are just juggernauts, and some of them have great places in our heart. So you'll see on the East Coast, we have The Wire, One-on-One, BMF versus In Living Color, The Boondocks versus Hanging with Mr. Cooper, and Power versus Half and Half. And then
this felt what did you name that division? Because that feels like modern versus like contemporary.
Yeah, that's
I don't
mixed.
know.
It's like a mixed bag, like a miscellaneous. Because what I started to notice is that I tried to kind of keep them all in the same area, but we really did have like two different renaissances in sitcom television when it comes to Black people, right? So the Jeffersons, Good Times, all the classics. There were so many of them, and then even for the '90s and like early 2000s, there was a lot of them. But we didn't have a lot of just like children's shows that were like Black led with Black, with like a funky theme song that I could use. So if you get into the second half here, this is where it gets a little hairy. So you have, I'll call this the kids bracket. There's a little overlap in here, some teenage stuff, but you get it. That's So Raven will go up against the Parkers. The Proud Family will go up against Cousin Skeeter. Keenan and Kel will go up against Moesha, and Sister will go up against Smart Guy. So Tyrone, what are your thoughts at first glance thinking about the East Conference here?
My stomach hurts, bruh. That Keenan and Kel versus Moesha is going to destroy me. Oh my gosh.
Which Moesha?
That's what I was about to say. Which Moesha?
Which Moesha?
Oh, we know. Nah, we'll get there when we get there next week. We know.
Before I pick the wrong one, chime in at recapkickback@gmail.com. Let me know which Moesha we need to be using, because I don't want to hear a lot of like, you picked the wrong Cosby Show, you picked the wrong Martin. Listen, I'm telling you right now, Martin wasn't making it out of that conference over here. Okay, he was going to get packed up eventually. Yeah, and so if you have any strong feelings, of course, Facebook, you can go to recapkickback.com or facebook.com/recapkickback and join the recapkickback.com/Facebook and join the community. Get your conversation of course, get your opinion heard, and then be a part of the conversation. So, remember, fill out your own bracket. Let us know what you think. But as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be a bloodbath next week. And so I'm very excited to see what that looks like. But until then, how do y'all feel so far? What are you thinking? How do y'all like in the March Madness of it all? Mari, this was like your brainchild.
Yes, this is so fun. I think this is like a culmination of kind of all the stuff that we've been doing. Like February kind of warmed us up with our top 5, and this, I feel like we are hitting our stride, and I really think our listeners are going to love this. I think our main objective here at the Kickback is to start a discussion, and I think this is right up our alley for starting discussion. So I'm so excited to hear what people think.
Yeah, and Ty, thank you for joining us. Of course, you're always welcome here. Recap Kickback. I mean, you got some stuff in the works anyway. But so far, first half of the bracket, we see some of your faves fall. How do you feel before we go into next week?
This feels really good, man. I think, and I hope that people can hear like the nostalgia in between all three of us as we're talking about these. Like some of these shows I haven't watched in a really, really long time, but all of the memories from going back and listening to the songs came rushing back in pretty quickly. And so I hope we do the same for you for sure. I'm excited. I'm excited because I think the Eastern Conference is going to be rough, and then especially when we get to the Final Four, it's going to be even rougher. And so I'm excited to see who wins and champions this one out. But yeah, this is good.
Yeah, this is good. Okay. So great times here at recapkickback.com. Thank y'all for, of course, listening. Hopefully you can see and hear this on YouTube. If you can't, I'm sorry, we broke some rules here today, but I think it was necessary. So this is an audio podcast as well. So make sure you go and subscribe and Recap Kickback wherever you get your podcast. All you got to do is go to recapkickback.com, click the subscribe button, and it will give you the podcast in your podcatcher of your choice. So but like I said, we're gonna see what happens because I pulled a lot of these clips from YouTube anyway. So if they on YouTube, I don't understand why me using them versus them using them. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't take them from no official website.
I think did you compile a list of the clips? Because I think if you credit them in the description, we might have a chance. So go back, pull all of those, the direct YouTube links, and credit them in the description, and maybe we can get away with this, y'all. We'll see.
we shall see. But until then, Ty, thank you for being here. Tell everybody what you're working on, where they can find you, and until next week when you come back to help complete the bracket.
Can I tell them what we're working on, Chappell?
Oh, you can talk about it. I mean, no, slow down, because I haven't gotten the ball rolling on that yet officially. We're doing some production stuff, but Ty and I do have a big project in the works, and I guess you can talk about it in a general sense, but I don't want people looking for it until it's ready.
Bet. Actually, that's good enough right there. Y'all know Chappell and I are working on something big. I'm excited about it. We are coming from two different perspectives on it, which I that's the best thing you can have in a podcast, whether you're seeing it or hearing it, is have multiple different perspectives. So I'm excited for that. Whenever we're ready to release that, that's where you can find me. Your boy ain't on social media. So if you want to hear more about Tyrone Graham, you better come to Recap Kickback.
All right. Thank you, T. Greasley. All right. Mari, what you got going on?
Of course, every Tuesday, me and Sarah Carradine bring True Crime Tuesdays to RHAP over on the Crime Scene podcast. This week, we talked to Survivor 42 cast member Omer Zahir, and we talked about the 4-part docuseries on Max called The Truth About Jim. Definitely go listen to the discussion because we all had a lot of different perspectives on the property itself. You know, little agreements, a little disagreements, but it was a really fun conversation. You can go to robhasawebsite.com/crime feed in order to subscribe to the Crime Scene podcast. And you can also follow Crime Scene on Twitter at Crime Scene RHAP as well. Of course, me and Matt Scott also are doing the Wrestling Wrap Up, and we have a new YouTube channel. So if you are over here supporting the Recap Kickback, all 500 something of you, please go over to the Wrestling Wrap Up and support us. You know, hit the subscribe button. It don't cost you nothing. Hit the subscribe button. You can go to youtube.com/@Wrestling Wrap Up. That's youtube.com/@ Wrestling RHAPUP, because me and Matt have a lot of fun over there talking about wrestling. You don't even have to be a wrestling fan. We had Dwight from Survivor 43, Mr. Dwight Moore over there. We had lots of fun talking to Dwight about the current storylines heading into WrestleMania. So definitely go check that out. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at Mari Talks Too Much. That's 2 like the number 2, tweeting about just nonsense, reality TV nonsense. So if you love reality TV, if you love discussions, definitely go follow me on Twitter. Chappell, what are you up to?
Thank y'all both again. For me, I got a lot going on as usual, but Abbott Elementary coverage with Gia and I. There was a special Oscars after the Oscars episode of Abbott, so we did get a delayed drop for this week's Abbott Elementary, but it is coming. I think we're going to do all 3 of the episodes for the week at one time, so check that out, where we do our Abbott Elementary coverage here on Recap Kickback. Of course, still doing exit interviews for Deal or No Deal Island and covering Deal or No Deal Island on the Hit or Quit podcast feed on RHAP. I still have the Nothing But Netflix podcast that I do with Rob Cesternino every week. And then, of course, if you're a Survivor fan, or even if you're not, check out Club Condo. It's cracked. It is ridiculous, and it is me and Rob just hanging out, talking about Survivor, all on the Rob Has a Podcast network. So for me and Mari and Tyrone, don't forget to complete your bracket. And until next time, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Thank you for everybody for listening, and we will talk to you all next week. Peace.